right, good morning everyone, and welcome to Mantra Monday. So, we have been talking about the physical form and how the planets can affect that. And now we are up to Jupiter. Jupiter, the big planet with this big red spot. It's expansion. Things expanding. So, how can that affect things? Well, let's think about that. One of the things that it can affect is your ability to grow. What is responsible for that? Please don't mind the glasses. I seem to have broken them and I haven't gotten a new set yet. What affects your ability to grow? Your pituitary gland. Very important. If the pituitary is not working properly, you don't grow properly. On the other hand, if it's a little too active, you grow too much. Both of these are problems. What else is it good for? Well, Jupiter also has some control over how your liver functions. So if that's a problem for you, then, think about that. And of course, if there's something to do with the liver, there's probably also something to do with your liver's best friend on the side, Mr. Gallbladder. So, why do you think Jupiter is involved with that? Well, because it has to do with processing the things that you've eaten. Yes, you have your stomach and it's all that, but especially utilizing the items that have been broken down by your stomach, things like fats, that all goes through the liver and the gallbladder, because that bile is necessary for helping break some of those fatty compounds down. So, okay, what else have we got? Well, they also say that Jupiter is involved with the thighs, which for a lot of us are kind of the meatier part of our legs, and that allow us to get moving around. I would be concerned about that because the strongest bones in your body are right there in your thighs, your femurs. So, and you've got your hips there. I deal with the fact that, like a lot of people, as I've gotten older, my bones have gotten weaker, particularly my hip bones, part of the femur. So I'm at an increased risk of, if I fall down, I'll crack something and I'm not getting back up. Kind of important that I stay ambulatory, so this is an actual concern for me. And it's probably a concern for a lot of you, because I know that there are a lot of women out there like me, getting older, not necessarily moving as much, got to take their D and their calcium, because we don't like to be outside too much because we're more worried about skin cancer than we are about getting enough vitamin D by being out in the sunshine. So these are all issues we have to keep in mind. So, Jupiter, processing food, growing, staying mobile. Okay, those are the things we have to be concerned about. So, how do we do that? Well, our mantra today is of the same format as the ones that we've done before, which is Om Shri, and then the word for the planet in question, which in this case is Gurave. Om Shri Gurave Namaha. Let's do a few Ganesh before we get going. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha, 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 Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Okay. So, as I said, our mantra today is Om Shri Gurave Namaha. Okay? Om Shri Gurave Namaha. 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 Now, next week will be the last planet that we'll be doing in this series, although it won't be the last in this series. Bear in mind that we're dealing with the classical planets, which only go through Saturn. The outermost planets, Uranus, Neptune, and I still think it's a planet even though they call it a dwarf planet now, Pluto, are more recent discoveries and therefore are not covered. But after we're done next week with Saturn, we'll be still doing a couple more generic overall get in touch with the great healers kind of mantras before we finish this series out. I just wanted everyone to be ready for that we're not done after next week. We got a couple more after that, and then we'll finish the whole using the planets for your health. And then we'll see where we want to go from there. I hope everyone, has a good week. I hope you're making use of these mantras as you see a need for them in your life. Saturn's a big one. Saturn is that, Jupiter's expansion. Saturn is like, oh, okay, that's enough expansion for a little while. Let's rein it in a little bit. And it covers a lot. And it's something that I use regularly whenever it changes signs. So we're going to talk about that in a little more depth next week. In any case, then I will see you then. Have a good week.